Ishvara is the synthesizing principle, the highest consciousness of God as against the individual consciousness. Yes, some of you did mention something of this kind, something of which we are the part. Yes? So the idea comes close to that when you talk of what is Ishvara. As some of us did believe that the Big Bang theory you talked about. No, yes, you're right. That's the Big Bang theory. The creation is not attributed to Ishvara in yoga. The creation, as most physicists will believe, that it does go on according to certain basic laws and principles. Yes, it is no strange thing. I remember as a school girl reading this story about this man who was sitting on the branch and cutting that same branch. Right? All of you have read that. And this passerby said, hey, you'll fall down. And he said, you go do your work. He did fall down. He thought, hey, this man is a future teller. Went and asked him. Now, this man on the horse became so important for this man on the branch because of some little extra common sense the other person had. And this one did not have. Did that make this man a god? No. Or really a future teller? No, not really. So let us not restrict the concept of God by the limitation of our own understanding and common sense. Yes? We're talking about universal consciousness. So we need to break away from our own limitations, not just personal limitations, even the limitations of a lot of other people that we interact and hear about on Ishvara. When they bring Ishvara kind of a concept down to a day-to-day mundane thing, Ishvara is not the one who will come to rescue you, help you when you are whatever. Yes? Doesn't need to. All that is taken care of by us mundane people as well as by day-to-day regular laws of nature. Takes care. The higher consciousness is like an orchestra in which all the lower parts are organized. Let's try and understand what is the statement trying to say. Ishvara, the concept of Ishvara, if we have to understand, if we can understand orchestra. In an orchestra, suppose one player, one person who is playing one of the instrument, is going slightly out of tune. Will that whole orchestra will get spoiled with that? Yeah. It can. But at the same time, what is the duty of the rest of them? To create a situation wherein harmony is not disturbed. And which does happen. Yes, you must have done a lot of group activities in which one team player is weak. Does that allow the whole team to become weak? The rest of the player make up for it. Yes, that's the kind of harmony. I'm not saying that which creates the harmony is Ishvara. The harmony itself is that power, like the Ishvara. Practically, we are turning to yourself when you are turning to Ishvara. We talked about two entities, two basic principles, changeful and unchangeful. The unchangeful, the term in yoga is Purusha. For the unchangeful, the word is Purusha. For the changeful, the word is Prakriti. Ishvara is said to be a special kind of Purusha, the unchangeful, with slightly special attributes than what our personal consciousness is. The larger consciousness, the universal consciousness, of which the individual consciousness is a special type. So universal and the individual. Like this, the concept of Ishvara is separated, created. In yoga, God is not confined to any particular place. वो न मंदिर में मिलता है, न मस्जिद में मिलता है, न चर्च में मिलता है. nor has any characteristic like being one of many. It is not that. Yes, अपने में मिलता है बिल्कुल उसी तरह जैसे कि वो भी पुरुष है और हमारे में भी जो unchangeful है. What is unchangeful in us? That is also Purusha. The other Purusha, the universal Purusha, is universal, is very, very special. It has certain speciality. No, not supreme power. I will not use that word at all, but I will just come to that. What I first want to insist upon, that it is special. It is Purusha, but it is special. What is its speciality? Let me come to it. Now, God is pure consciousness, that no action. What a useless God. There's no action. क्या काम करे फिर वो? हम डूब रहे हैं, हमको बचाने नहीं आएगा तो वो क्या काम का ईश्वर ना? But it lends awareness to the mind which thinks and acts. Now what is this? Is this supreme power? It only lends you awareness. Do you think before doing something? Or we just get into action? I often, while teaching various concepts in yoga, use certain games. The Yoga Institute, from where I have studied and learned, they have devised certain games through which the various concepts in yoga can be communicated to people for experiential purposes. So it requires using certain material. And I always find that we make certain groups, sometimes pairs or individual. As we distribute the material, people just start doing things.
Without thinking.
At the most, there is often some reading leaflet is there which gives the method, etc. Some people may read and just start doing. And when I am actually ready, after giving the material, to tell them what to do, they are busy doing. They don't want to listen, they don't want to know. And then when the actual game time comes for playing it, then they're asking, hey, what should we do here? This is our habit. We somehow have forgotten to wait, to listen, to understand, to plan before acting. I remember at one time I was attending a workshop like this, and the workshop conductor, I think it was as a teacher's workshop, yes. And this workshop conductor asked us that if you are given to prepare for your next annual concert, that is the job given to you, what will you do first? So what most of them said was that we will go around and find out who all can do various programs. All the talented children, etc. will pick up and put up a program together, assign certain teachers who can take care of each activity, and it will be done. And he wasn't satisfied. He kept on asking for more. No, something before that, something before that. What he really wanted from us was that we will first think out and plan. Jot down, this to be done, that to be done, that to be done, that to be done. There are so many things to be done without, except for just putting the program together. Except for just choosing the children and the teachers. There are so many other things to be done. You have a place to be booked, you have to time, you have to see, you have to send out invitations. There are n number of things. Just getting into it straight away doesn't really help. So this preparation kind of a thing. And that comes only when you're fully aware. You will understand the larger things only when you're quiet and you're fully aware. Now think of an Ishvara who is not going to do anything. Is it matching with the concept of Ishvara that you just had?